What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So far, Season of Discovery Phase 4 has been out for 7 days, and we've gotten some massive updates and changes, and in this video, I'm gonna go over all of them for you. We've got some changes to the Blackrock Eruption event, some changes to Dungeon Set, and a bunch of class changes on top of that. So without further ado, guys, let's dive in. So first up on our list of updates, this is a pretty big one, right? So if you're someone who has been spamming dungeons non-stop since the launch of Phase 4 and maybe just had some pretty bad luck with getting your Tier 0, which is your dungeon set, to turn into your 0.5 set, which for me on Rogue is really important. I need that Dark Mantle set. There is some bad luck protection now. Now your Tier 0 or your dungeon set is going to be available with the Tarnished Reels, which for those of you who don't know is the currency that you get from each boss in all of these endgame dungeons. From Blackrock Depths all the way through to the top, every single boss will give you one currency once per day. So it's very easy to farm over 60 of these in a day with a quick world tour. So now if you've had bad luck, like I said, you're going to be able to pick up your dungeon set at the vendor in Booty Bay, and the prices are as follows. The helm, chest, and legs are going to be 50 coins each. The waist, gloves, boots, and shoulders are going to be 25 each, and the wrists are going to be 15. Personally, I think this is a great change. You're going to be running these dungeons regardless to get those drops, so at least if you're having some bad luck, you're not completely wasting your time and you're actually farming a currency towards getting your pre-bis gear, much like in TBC and Wrath, the badge system. It always works, and I think this was a great change. Up next on our list, we have two new leatherworking patterns that have been found, the Devil Core leggings and the Devil Core gauntlets. Simon Eyes found these out in Ungoro Crater. They were dropped by King Mosh, and these are some pretty strong pieces of gear. The legs give you 14 stamina, 20 fire resist, 1 crit, and 58 attack power, and the gauntlets give you 12 stamina, 15 fire resist, 1 crit, and 38 attack power, and they're not that expensive to craft. So these are basically some really nice upgraded versions of the Devil Sword gear. Next up on our list of things to talk about here, this is a pretty big one, and I made a video, well, basically I was talking to San Medina for a while about this on his podcast. I'm sure you guys have seen it, and it is the Blackrock Eruption event, right? This event was going wild. For the first few days of launch here, if you were Alliance on my server, Lone Wolf NA, you could literally not even get to a dungeon without dying and running to your corpse over 5, 6, 7, 8 times, waiting out 3 or 4 2-minute res timers. It was a nightmare to get these groups together. By the time that your group would make it to the dungeon, the group would fall apart because you waited over an hour for it to even start. So this was a major problem. It was completely run by Horde, and now we have something a little bit better. They took what everyone was saying, they took that feedback and they fixed it. So now we have the Blackrock Eruption event change. The Drain of Blood aura from the Stranglethorn Vale PvP event is now applied when participating in the Blackrock Mountain PvP event. This applies to players exiting instances in Blackrock Mountain as well. So now, if you die walking into the mountain just trying to get to your dungeon, you're going to get that Stranglethorn Vale res where you're pretty much invisible, maybe you run really fast, and you're going to be able to get back to your dungeon without having to deal with that crazy amount of PvP if you don't want to. Personally, think this is an absolutely great change. It probably should have been in from the beginning, but hey, you know what? Nobody's perfect, and I'm very happy that they addressed this. We have a couple of other changes going forward here too that just came out. For Druids, Flame Wrath has been redesigned with a lower spell power ratio on the Thorns portion of the proc and an internal cooldown for Feral Druids. For most people, I don't know if you've seen it, but this was absolutely broken for Druids, so I'm assuming they just kind of toned it down quite a bit, so we'll have to wait and see what that's like there. For Hunters, Trap Launcher will no longer augment Frost Trap, with some developer notes stating a Trap Launcher version of Frost Trap has only existed in versions of WoW in which mobility and freedom effects were more plentiful. Without them, the safety and agency of a 9 to 15 second ranged Frost Trap grants Hunters simply too much. We're making it so that Hunters either need to put themselves at risk in order to place a Frost Trap or have someone engage on them to trigger it. This is a much needed change because Hunters' Frost Traps were absolutely busted in PvP for quite a while now, so thank God this is being changed. For Mages, Conjure Water rank 7 will now create 20 water per cast. The tooltip may not reflect this change for a while, but it will create 20. All ranks of Mana Shield will no longer stack when Advanced Warding is engraved. All ranks of Advanced Warding's Mana Shield are now cancelled when the rune is unequipped or when someone absorbs damage and the caster no longer has the rune equipped, and all ranks of Mana Shield are removed when the Advanced Warding rune is equipped. For Shamans, Burn will now persist through death and not require you to recast Flame Tongue Weapon again. And for Warlocks, you're going to be really happy about this. I've heard a lot of people complaining about this, but Fel Rift spawns, the rate has been increased. The chance of finding Legion portal tuners and associated tools has also been increased, and the Rune of Decimation is now guaranteed from an overcharged portal. I haven't played my Warlock yet so far in this phase, but I've heard some pretty insane things about how long this is taking people to get Rune of Decimation, so I'm assuming this is a really great change, and you Warlock players are going to be very happy. Now, aside from the SOD news, we have some news on Classic Era. Now, if you know what's been going on with Classic Era, kudos to you, but if you've been living under a rock, let me inform you. So Blizzard decided to make some changes to Classic Era, right? This involved giving Alliance the Might of Stormwind buff to compete with the Ren buff, Druids using polearms, and the guild interface changing to the Cataclysm interface. This sparked a lot of anger in Classic players, and for good reason, right? People paid money to keep their characters there, and this was supposed to basically be a time capsule of 2019 Classic before the Burning Crusade Classic launch. So completely understand why people were up in arms about this. Now, there was some petition going around to sign to kind of make Blizzard revert these changes. People were really upset, and as of yesterday, Blizzard has completely reverted all of these changes, which is great to hear. I think Classic Era should remain a time capsule. There should be no changes there. That's what Season of Discovery is for. That's what Cataclysm Classic is for. Let's just leave Classic Era alone. I think this is a massive W for Classic Era, and it proves that your voices will be heard if you give that feedback in a constructive way. So as of yesterday, effective immediately, Blizzard is reversing the following changes to Classic Era. Alliance players having access to Might of Stormwind, the version of the Ren buffed for Alliance. Druids using polearms will no longer be a thing, and the 6-hour wait between applications of Rallying Cry the Dragon Slayer has been reduced to 1 minute. That's no longer a thing again, so now it's back up to that 6-hour wait. Keep Classic. I'm all for this. Good job on Blizzard's part for listening to the community here, and hopefully going forward we get some more of those same actions. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. We've got a lot of changes so far. It's only been out for 7 days, Phase 4. It feels like forever, but it's only been 7 days, so I'm sure we're going to be getting more changes, and I will do my best to keep you all updated. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really does help me out. Subscribe to the channel, and jump over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance. I stream every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 nights a week, so come hang out with us. We have a good time. We're going to be doing the World Bosses tonight, Molten Core next Thursday. It's going to be a really good time. And if you're looking for an awesome Discord community to join, link in the description for that as well. So we will welcome you with open arms. We're just a bunch of classic Andys, having a good time. So thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.